I was interested in what you thought about the death penalty, whether it can ever be justified, and if so, when.
On this issue, I have spoken many a time before, but for each session, of course, I have to repeat the same answers, though not exactly the same. The principle of death penalty is accepted by all religions alike. As far as the religions go, tooth for tooth and eye for eye and life for life is the established principle in all religions. In Islam, there is one little difference, which is a sort of relaxation. And in Islam, the right to forgive belongs to those who suffer, not to the state. So if it abhors people to see people hanged for murder, then according to Islam, the state is an impersonal instrument. It has no right to forgive for a crime, forgive a crime which is committed against somebody else. So permission, of course, there is, not only of forgiveness but complete forgiveness. But those who belong to who hold the authority in the family, that is, those who are left behind, the head of that family, he has the right, or the family as such have the right to forgive. Now this principle is far more sensible, because sometimes the injury done to the psychological injury, done to the family is so deep and so unforgettable that in the name of mercy, to show mercy to a criminal and not to show mercy to them, this is not fair. This is against the principle of justice. And again, there are other factors which have to be brought into the focus of attention before legislation is done. The point is, if you abolish capital punishment, what would be the reaction in the society? How the criminals would take it? Will they consider it as a license to kill? Or will they feel that the society has done that good thing, to a good act, so we should also respond in the same coin? This would never happen, the second option The criminals are encouraged, with the result that if you compare the incidents of murder before such legislations and after, the difference will be marked. And I have read the data, I have read the figures, and I am speaking from that incidents of murder in England rose sharply after this measure of abolishing capital punishment. It's not just this, there are other problems as well. When you do not have capital punishment and also you believe that the people who are not of age, they can murder and they can go scot-free, what would it do to the society? The British people they are mature people, they are world's greatest politicians in the whole, in the world, when I say, I mean the whole world, because the long background of colonization and colonial imperialism, which the British can boast of, none else can in the whole world. The German imperialism was finished 70 or more years before. But your imperialism continued into this century, into these decades, and would go perhaps beyond for a while. So you have famous diplomats, famous politicians and this and that. Better wisdom is expected of you. You should have realized that if people who are not mature according to your laws, if they are just 6 months below the final mark, and they murder and they can run away with it, do you know what you are doing? It's not just showing mercy to a criminal or encouraging him. it's preparing the next generation of criminals, because criminals are not made after they reach adulthood. Criminals are made during the childhood period, and this period is highly critical, which we were talking about, from 11 to 17, 16, whatever period they fix. This is the most critical period of responsibility, and once these children are encouraged to be hardened, then nothing can cure them afterwards. It's all gone forever. So it's a much wider issue than just to show mercy on somebody. Then mercy at what cost? At the cost of innocent people? Mercy to the criminal at the cost of innocent people. That's not a fair dealing, is it?